All right, so we're back here with our skeletons, and I've just put a bunch of them out here who are stumbling around all over this place. And we're going to get it so they'll start attacking our character. Okay, so to do this, what we're going to want to do is go back into our AI Skelly, and in my case, I'm using skeleton. Y'all might be using something different. And I want to start adding a little bit different code into this character. So what we'll need to do first is we have to have it chase our character. So we're going to go back into the event graph, and we're going to add on a few things. Okay, so we're going to need to add in some ability for our skeleton to find the players. So we're going to do pawn sensing. We're going to add pawn sensing. And we'll just compile that, go back to the viewport. Now we can see all the senses that our character has been given now. And we want to open up pawn sensing and probably change the peripheral angle a little bit to 75. That's going to close it up a little bit so we can at least get to the side of it before it starts charging after us. Everything else is probably fine, so we can just leave that as is. We can start using this now, so that's going to be handy. We're going to go right in here, and we're going to use, let's see. I think it's should just be on pawn sensing here. Let's see, on pawn sensing. Well, maybe on C. Well, let's just take everything out. That's okay. And it should just be pawn sensing. Get pawn sensing set. No. Let's see. Or just on C pawn. Yep, there we go. Add on C pawn. There we go. Okay, so this will say who did we actually see. And what we're going to do with this one is similar to what we had up here with the Wander. Off the event begin player made a custom event that went to here. Now we're going to do something similar. So off of this, we're going to do a new custom event. Sorry, we need a custom event first, so we're going to do that. Let's call this one Chase. Oops. Okay. And from here, we're going to do Chase. We're going to call Chase. And we're going to go from the here to the target. Actually, we're going to need to get that a little bit different. So we're going to want to get that pawn, and the target is actually the self, so we don't really need that. But right down here, we're going to want to get that from AI move to. So, okay, so here we go. AI move to. There we go. And this is going to go here. The pawn is still, the pawn part of it is still going to be reference to self. But, goodness, excuse me. This target actor is going to be something that we're going to just, if we just put it right here, it'll add it as a pin to our custom event so that we're going to be going after this pawn. So this pawn right here goes to that target actor. So we saw it. That's the thing we're going to go after. Now, one thing I think I'm going to do on this one is I don't want him to get too close. Like acceptance radiance is 5. That's like really, that's like right up on him. So I'm going to change it to 100. And that should be about right. Now, what's going to happen is every time they see, it's going to go after the, it's going to set off the chase, and they should follow me. So let's go ahead and try it. Okay, pop in, see one there. Okay, now, one thing is, I think he is chasing me, or he's trying to. Okay, let's see. Yep, yeah, that guy's chasing me. If I get back in here, this guy will chase me. Now, they're just not going very fast. So what I want to do is off this chase right here, I'm going to change the movement speed. So I'm going to drag in the character movement. Set max walk speed. Okay, just run that in there, and now it's going to be at 200, which will also change the animation for the character because of the blend space we made. Try this again. Okay. Now that weighted setup as it changes to the different ones might be affecting this a little bit, but they're coming after me. 200's not too bad. And otherwise, yep, they're all coming after me. All right. And they're changing direction pretty well. Okay, but he lost sight of me, so he's losing me there. So that might be one thing you might have to work on a little bit, is just checking to see, are we in chase mode? Yeah, there they go. They're all coming after me. So you can start them wandering again. All right, so that's something you may have some other solutions to work with when you're fixing that up. So let's go ahead and get this guy swiping at me. So we're going to go back into the content drawer. In the skelly parts here, we're going to be looking for the attack, which is right here. Okay. So what we want to do is we're going to turn this into a montage, animation montage. If you right click right here, and we're going to create, and we're going to do create anim montage. What that allows us to do is call an animation while another animation is running, and this will just run without any issue for the most part. So we're going to say zombie attack. I might change it to skelly attack just so we know which one it's supposed to be. Okay, and the next thing we want to do is, there we are, good. So we have kind of a playhead right here, and if we pull it back, we just grab that playhead. Whoop. Now if you just kind of click and drag up here, it should move the animation around, and we want to get to the point where we're right about there, right where it's going to be hitting. We already have a notify right here, a notify track. You can have multiple notify tracks if you want to, and that's what we're going to be using in our code to say, like, hey, when this animation hits this point, we want to check it with a sphere trace. So much like you might do in a fighting game, this point in the animation, you'd want that sphere trace to pop up, or if you really had something crazy going on, maybe you have a line trace if you got a projectile going across the screen or something like that, that might be a good way to handle that. But for what we want to do, we just need one, and we need it right about here. Okay, let's see, it's going to pan around a little bit. It looks like a pretty good spot to land that. So we're going to go right here on this notify, track 1. We'll right click right here. We're going to add a notify, and we want to add a montage notify. Okay, it's going to leave that little track right there. And now when this goes off, we'll be able to use our sphere trace. Okay, so I think we pretty much have everything set there. Nothing to really do other than just save. Let's see. There we go. Let's go back to our skelly. And we have our AI move to right here, and we'll probably need to set up our sphere trace, or actually we just want it to play the montage, really, so we got to do that first. So let's just drag off the success right here. So this is off the AI move to. When it gets within 100 units in radius of our character, it's going to try and swipe. Now this, if you want to increase this to a larger space, like 200, you'll be further and further away the bigger the number is, obviously. So if you want it to get real close, like right on top of them, a 5 would do it. You probably don't want to go with a 0, because that means it's probably going to be like inside their mesh. So 100's probably decent. Might crank it up a little bit here in just a little bit. Let's see how this goes. So on success, what we're going to do is we're going to play montage. Okay, and we're going to select the montage, skelly attack montage, play rate, and the rest of this is all pretty normal. We don't really need to do anything with that. We do want to make sure that we specify that we're going to use this mesh right here in skeletal mesh component. That's the one we're going to use. Okay, Let's just check this real quick. See if they're starting to swat at me whenever they see me. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now see, this is kind of something that just happens. And we have to kind of correct for it. So they're kind of freaking out right now. And then they finally get they're in the radius, so it's like they're spamming the attack button. But once I get away, they'll actually finish it. And you also notice they're kind of sliding. So we're going to fix that. Okay, so we're going to go back into our Skelly here. And we are going to, let's see, off the AI move to, what I want to do is I'm going to set up a couple different things here. First thing is we're going to make a new variable. I'm going to call it can attack. Okay, and it can be a Boolean, so that's perfect. Okay, so if we want it to actually attack, we want to check and see is can attack available first. So we're going to bring can attack in here. Okay, get can attack. I'm going to go ahead and compile it, and we want that to be true. Initially, this needs to be true so that you can actually make the attack. So make sure your default is set to true. All right, then from the success, we're going to do a branch. Okay, and then we're going to tie this up into here. On the true, we're going to have that run through here and play the montage. And then over on this side, we don't want it to just start playing the animation again, which is kind of what's happening. So instead, what we want to do is drag in set can attack. Okay. And as this thing fires off, it'll go over here and say like, no, it's false. Can attack, it's false. Can attack, it's false. But when it completes, I'm just going to highlight this set can attack and do Control D, make a copy paste real quick. On completed, we want it to, like once the animation is done, then we want to reset this back to true, or if it's been interrupted. Either one of these two happen, we want it to be able to attack again. Okay, so let's try this one more time, see how it's doing. Okay, drop my dude in. Okay, that looks better. Okay, now one thing, if I let them set up, they keep moving though, right? Okay, so another way we can fix that is we are going to go back in here and we're going to start messing with the speed a little bit. Okay, so while the attack is happening, while can attack is happening, we don't want them to move. So what I'm going to do is grab this, pull it back a little bit, and I want to get this right here. I'm going to highlight all that, Control D, bring this down, and while this attack is happening, we don't want it to move, so we're going to set our max walk speed to 0. Okay, let's try this again, see if we're still sliding. Okay, drop my character in, they're right there. Okay, he moved a little bit, but it might have been because he was sliding down the ramp there, so we'll see. Let him get set up, and he's still moving. Okay, cool. Let's figure out what else we're missing here. Okay, so max walk speed becomes 0 here, and then whenever chase comes back up, we're setting it for 200. Oh, I think I know what needs to happen here. We don't want it to set the 200 walk speed until the attack is available again. So we're going to basically take what we have here, that branch, and we're going to just check it up here too. Okay, so we're going to run this in here off the true. We got that. So as long as can attack is true, we'll change this back to 200 and we'll be able to chase the character down. Okay, I feel pretty good about this one. Okay, let's let them get there. Okay, now they don't come out, they don't slide around while they're trying to do it. So I'm just gonna let them get close enough to where they can swipe at me, and then I'll run away. Yeah, there we go. Good deal. Okay, so we have the animation acting like we want it to. We have the speed acting like we need it to. Now what we need to do is just add in that sphere trace so we can actually do some damage. Okay, all right, so to do that, let's see, we have play the montage right here, and that's when we really want this to actually do something. So I think we'll probably put the sphere trace there. Okay, So let's see here. So we want to go back into the play montage space right here, and on notify begin is where we're going to start that sphere trace. Okay, so I'm going to make a little bit of room here. I want to make it as big as possible so you guys can understand what we're doing here. Okay, so I'm going to drag off on notify begin, and we're going to do sphere trace for objects. Okay, and for the start, we're just going to get the actor location. Okay, so get actor location. There we go. Perfect. And then we're gonna provide the end. So we're making a trace. So we're gonna often start off with, in this case, since it's a sphere, we need to know which direction our character is facing, so we know where to put the sphere, and we want it to be in front of our character. So we're gonna get actor rotation. There we go. And then we want to get forward vector so we know which way they are facing. Okay. And then we want to multiply this. Let's see, multiply. Okay, and we're going to right click on this vector down here at the bottom. We're going to turn it into a float. And this is going to be how far out, like this is actually going to project and kind of pull the sphere apart. So we have that bar like we saw in the demo at the very beginning. From here, we want to add these together. So we're going to run this into here, and that'll run into the end. Now, one more thing we're going to need to do. Let's see. Yeah, I think 100 would be good for that. For the distance on that, we might change it. We'll see. We might want to make it a little bit bigger. We want from the sphere trace. Let's see. We want to see drawback D type. We want to be able to see it just while we're testing this. So we do for duration. About 5 seconds should be good. And we will need one thing on the object types right here. We're going to let's see, let's see. So off object types right here, we want it to look for these specific object types. So we're going to make array, and we're not really going to have to do much with this. We just have to specify what we want to be looking for. Okay, so we're going to set that for pawn. We're in good shape there. Let's just kind of see how these are looking right now. Okay, just drop ourselves in here. Okay, so we're getting the, okay. Oh, I think I'm seeing something else I want to do here. Sphere trace for objects. Yeah, my issue is my radius. So it just looks like a line right now. So I'm going to probably make that a little bit bigger. I'm going to say, let's say 50. See how that goes. Just see what that looks like. Okay, here you go. Bam! Oh, it's pretty big. I don't think we really want anything that large. So let's just kind of go back in here and tune this a little bit. Thinking maybe 10. We'll see. See how that looks. Okay, drop it in there. It looks pretty good. That'll give us a good hit. So yeah, we're gonna get a good hit there. All right, so we've got that working, and we're going to be working a little bit off the back end here. So just go to the out hit right here. We're going to right click on that split struct bin so we can see everything that's here. And now we want to look for our BPI adjust health. So this is how we're going to start changing the health of our player characters. So let's go to content drawer, and we want to look for BPI adjust health, or whatever you called yours that you're managing the different health changes with. Okay, here's that. Now, one thing about our current adjust health is that we have an output running right here, and if we want something to send, like we don't want to just detect like we have been so far, like, oh, does this thing use that particular interface? If it does, then we're going to check to see what kind of damage it's going to apply or health it's going to apply. Now that we're not using a an overlap event. We're not using something we're colliding. We're using a trace. The pawn, our character player model thing, does not realize that we've been hit by a trace. So what we have to do is send that information over to our player character. So to do that, we're going to need to make another function up here. So we're just going to go up here to add new function. This one I'm going to call send damage. Okay. And I'm going to have an input. So output is when we're getting it from something, like we're asking them for it, we're going to get an output. In this case, we're going to actually make an event trigger on our player. So that's why we're going to need an input here. Okay, so I'm going to hit input. I'm going to do sent, let's see, damage sent, damage, maybe damage amount sent. Okay, yeah, that'll work. And it's going to need to be a float. So that's just what we work with. Compile, let's save that one. Let's go back to the Skelly. Now the Skelly, I don't believe has any interfaces on it currently. So we want to go and set that up. Okay, we have implemented interfaces here. We're looking for BPI, adjust health, hit compile, and now we go over here, we can see we have excuse me, adjust health, and we have send damage. Now if we go to our third person character as well, we should see that it's got a new function on it too, and we're going to be working with that as well. So let's see, in third person blueprints, we're working with our parent class character here, and we go over here to the side where we have interfaces. Now we have send damage. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. Okay, it's right here. It's this little event that we're going to be able to trigger from somewhere else. I'm going to put this up by the other health based stuff that we're working with here. And for now, what I want to do is just do a print string, and I'll probably run an append. There we go. So what this is going to do, I'm going to just write up here, this sends damage. Okay, so we'll be able to see the damage amount we're sending along, and then we're going to fix it after that. Okay, so we're just going to test this out here real quick. We need to go back over to the Skelly, and we're going to make this line up. So first thing we need to do, as usual, we want to make sure that the thing we're interacting with has that blueprint interface. We want to do our diligence here. And so we're going to run a brain just wearing off into a cliff there. It's a branch. Yeah, we're going to have a branch, and we're going to be looking for the out hit actor right here. Does object implement interface. Yep, and we're looking for BPI adjust health, and we're going to tie this into that condition right there. And from there, we're going to use the send damage. So I'm just going to pull off true, and we're going to do send damage. Whoops, got to spell it right. Okay. Now we have the function here, and we have BPI send damage right here. Let me show you what we're getting. Like if you just do this, it's actually going to give us a different, like kind of a function thing that's looking to actually target the interface itself. So what we're actually going to want, send damage, oops, as usual, got to spell it right. Uncheck this, and we want to get the message. Okay, so send damage message. Okay, and we're going to, let's see, we want the damage amount. We can always set that as a variable later on, but we'll do negative 0.25. That should be pretty good. And we're going to run that out hit actor to the target. Okay, so this should take us, well, let's check it first and see if that print string is reporting anything. Okay, we got hit there. This sends 0.25 of damage. This sends negative 0.025 of damage. Okay, cool. They're just wailing on us. Let's go back into our Skelly here. And we got to set this up inside of the third person character actually. So I'm going to go to third person character, and everything we need is kind of right here. So I'm going to get rid of this stuff since we don't need that print string anymore. But down here, we actually have some code that we're going to reuse. So the reason I don't just run this into the same space is that sometimes the addition right here where we might run it in is going to act a little bit weird. We might actually have an adjust health happening at the same time we're trying to do an event send damage. So if they both run in here together, the calculations may be a little bit off. So to kind of get away from that, I'm just going to highlight all these, do a Control D, drag it up here. Okay, event send damage. We're just going to run this into this one. The amount of damage we're sending is going to go into there. And this should act the exact same way as the adjust health for the pickups that we had. So let's go ahead and check this out. Let's see if this reduces my health. Okay, so there's one right there. We'll just let them wail on me a little bit. Yep, it's taken away my health. Let's see if I can get another guy to come over here and hit me too. Okay, cool. I'm going to get a little bit of health back. There we go. Let's see. Let them gang up on me. Ah, they're killing me. Now, I did get rid of I turned off the respawn code, so I don't have to worry about it, about them killing me off. So if I go over here and a bunch of them happen to gang up on me, and I'm not going to die. So let's go ahead and test this out real quick with one more player. All right, just connected my character up here, and let's see if I can draw anybody away from this guy. Okay, hey, look. He's trying to attack me. He's going to have to come after me. There we go. And they'll follow me. There we go. And let's see if they start to hurt the red guy. Yep, it's definitely hurting me. So that's a way to give your AI some melee damage. And yeah, that's going to start to make some characters you're actually a tiny bit scared of.